Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to be on this show today. Today is Money Matters Live, and we have a special guest with us. But before we bring her on board, her name is Opeoluwa. I'd like to introduce what the show is all about. Today is Money Matters, where we discuss about money. It's a movement where we talk about financial discipline, financial intelligence strategy, and financial planning. And where we talk about how you can save and what you can use your savings to do, either to get into different investment vehicles, businesses you can do in the 21st century, how to get a product or a service ready to be able to serve your world. As in, there is no rich man or rich woman that has no service or product or problem that they're solving. You must have a solution to a problem, a particular thing you want to solve in order for you to make money. And in Money Matters Life, all we discuss is all about money, empowerment, in order to have a peaceable life and have a peaceable mind to live a peaceable life. You know, they said money is the root of all evil, but beyond that, money is very essential. But you cannot compare the currency of money and relationship cannot be on the same level. Relationship would get you what money cannot get you. But today we're discussing about empowerment. She's going to be talking about health, how our health impact our wealth. But before I bring her on board, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Sandra Uko. I'm a Maxwell Leadership Certified Team Member, Coach, Speaker, and Trainer, a member of the Toastmaster as a Vice President, Public Relation, a best-selling author and also an IT salesperson of over 20 years. And just recently, I got the Presidential Lifetime Award. And I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to have my guests, and I want to thank my viewers. Thank you for being on this show. Thank you for your support. It's a said that a leader is one who knows it and shares it with others. So I encourage you, please, if this has been a blessing to you, please share. As a leader, you want to be a blessing, you want to impact your work. So share the link with others so they can join us on this show. And one of the reasons why you need to subscribe is so that YouTube will show this to more people who needs to learn and also get some nugget from this show. Thank you so much. And so before we bring our guests out, I want to just shoot. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm bringing up our guest. Her name is Opeoluwa. She's a lover of God and an ordained pastor. She's a retired pharmacist of over 40 years experience. She studied at the University of Ife, Ile-Ife. She was a full-time community pharmacist in the UK for so many years. She's now fully into health and wellness. She's very passionate about health and wellness. She's certified as a nutritionist, nutritional therapist, advanced weight loss consultant, detox specialist. She's a certified coach and consultant. She loves to help her clients attain and restore good health through natural means, while also applying her knowledge, her experience as a pharmacist. And you all know that experience is an asset. You can't buy that with money. So, of course, she's using and applying her knowledge and experience as a pharmacist. She's a trainer and a global speaker. She speaks from the heart with passion. Yes, that means she speaks with authenticity. She speaks from their level of empathy. She currently lives in the United Kingdom, and she's blessed with 3 adult children. So great to have her. The next person you get to see is Opeoluwa Aremu-Okulaja herself.
Are you thinking of how to publish your book on Amazon or how to get your published book to become an Amazon bestseller book? Dip Insight Books is the perfect in-between solution in transforming your ideas into a book. We can help you with all the complicated parts of publishing, such as process TO transformation. What we do: full manuscript evaluation, receive quality assurance edit, full copy edit and final proofread to remove spelling and grammar mistakes, oversee your cover design, create your interior layout, publish and distribute your book, lock down your marketing strategy. Ghostwriting, where there is no manuscript. Our goal is to help you publish your book promptly. Contact us today at 404-740-9091. Email us at info@dipinsightworld.com. To start the submission process, check us out at www.books.dipinsightworld.com and submit your details. You can visit our Facebook page at Dip Insight World.
Awesome. Welcome. So great to have you, Mom.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Yeah, and I know that we got connected based on this health awareness, and
Mm-hmm.
I said, sometimes when things are being a blessing to you, and you want to share to others, you want to be a blessing to others by getting such information and sharing with others, and that's why it is said that a leader is one who knows it and shares it with others. I mean that you have great information, but you don't keep it to yourself. You try to bring it out to the world to be a blessing to the world. And so, likewise, that's what I'm trying to do today. I am not an expert in that field, but I know that I have friends that are experts in those fields, so I can bring them to talk to my audience. And so, that's one of the reasons I'm bringing you on board so that we can glean and learn from you and gather some information that would help us live healthy and wealthy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here. So,
So, is there something I said in your resume that I didn't mention? Maybe something you're doing right now that the world is here to
no,
know
no,
that we need to, hear from you. You want
no,
to
no,
maybe do some
no.
introduction?
No, no. Maybe the only thing I just didn't mention that I did do a course, just dealing with, treating breast cancer naturally, just using natural means without, yeah, that's one of the courses I did not too long ago. Quite interesting. I
Oh my
already
gosh,
had an
how
idea.
effective is that?
Lots of people have used it. I mean, I normally encourage people to go more as natural as possible, because I'm also using my knowledge as a pharmacist, and I know that what chemo does is not selective. It goes for all the cells. It's not selective on the cancer cells. And chemo as a whole, there are drugs that are poison. They're poison because they're trying to kill the cells. So, and they do not distinguish between the healthy cells and the cancerous cells. So they can cause a lot of damage, can
So they cause
also
more harm than
more
good.
harm. Yes, yes, yes. So it's sometimes, and lots of people have used just natural lifestyle changes, to heal themselves. Some people have done that successfully. But I always say to people that prevention is always better than cure. That we live in our lives in a way, because they found that most cancers are as a result of maybe about 5% are ones that you can't, but are apart from lifestyle. But most cancers are about lifestyle and diet. They are trigger factors. So I always encourage people to be always to prevent. I mean, like I always say to people, like especially women, as when it comes to things like breast cancer and all that, it's about a lot of them are caused, a lot, not all, are caused about with hormonal imbalances. So when we eat foods that will balance our hormones, it's going to be difficult for the cancer to develop. And when we eat foods that are loaded with antioxidants and phytochemicals, that will, as soon as cancer cells, rear their head up, they deal with them because the body is built to do that. But when the body doesn't have the fuel to do that, then that's when these cells just go out of proportion and they manifest. Because when we are exposed to the environment, we're exposed to things we put on our bodies, the things that we eat, we can trigger them. But if your body is already, your body is healthy and you are actually eating well and doing the right things, it will begin to deal with them when they come up. When your body is battered and you keep, putting in foods that are damaging the body, then the people become more prone, to fall, and get that. So that's a big topic on it. So when it comes to about preventing, and like I said, if it's like colon cancer, now I see people that's one of the best ways to protect yourself from colon cancer is make sure that you're eating foods that are very fiber rich. Because they found out that colon cancer, one of the issues with it is that people's diet doesn't have enough fiber. And if you look at it, most people, the diets we have today is not as natural. People just buy mostly processed foods and they don't have enough fiber in them.
Sure.
And so, I mean, before I went into healthy living, I used to, oh, my diet was terrible, I tell you. And this is the truth. It took God to get me out of what I was doing, the way I was living my life, because I had a busy, stressful life as a pharmacist, standing on out for hours. So I was taking lots of sugary things, just eating on the go and all that. So I was just not disciplined about my diet until God, I was praying one day and saying, Lord, why are Christians, having cancer and all that, we've got all the promises, so this thing isn't adding up. And God first said, you first need to go and fix your diet. And that's where my journey started. And I began to understand that yes, we are spirit, we are soul, we are body. So we can fast, we can pray, we can study the word, but we must also take care of our physical bodies.
Sure.
You must take care of your soul, you must take care of your spirit, and you must take care of your body. And this body is a tent. It is our earth suit that is housing us, because this body is not who we are.
They're
And
not
who we are
sure.
is our spirit man with a soul, and then this body is what keeps us on planet Earth. And if the body is damaged, if the suit, I mean, like people that go to the moon now, they need a moon suit, don't they? And that's what keeps them on the moon. And it's our earth suit, when it's not them, that can keep us on planet Earth. So we need to take care of the body. And that was what God was trying to tell me then, that you really need to learn about the human body, how to take care of it. Yes, you have the word, you have the prayer and everything, but you must feed your body what it needs to be strong. And even the Bible is flooded with the right type of diet, starting from the book of Genesis. So we've just sort of veered away from it. I mean, if you look at the book of, I normally teach you the book of, I think, Leviticus 12 and Deuteronomy 14 or so. And I look at it, when God's saying, eat this, don't eat this, it's not because he's being wicked or anything. It's because he knows what he created, how our bodies function, and what will be good for our bodies. So, and I try to break that down for people. So I say it's not about just being a law. It's about your creator knowing what is good for your body, what is clean and unclean. I know people don't look at clean and unclean these days, but there's been some research on clean and unclean animals. They did one in America, and they tested clean animals and unclean animals, and they did a test that any animal that's got a score of 75% and above was not toxic to the human body. Any animal that scored less than 75% was toxic to the human body. And guess what? All the unclean animals scored less than 75%. So I will now saying that the creator doesn't know. So if science is backing up what the Bible is saying, then we need to be, doing some things, because we can't continue to put bad things into our bodies and keep calling on to God to heal us when we are the ones actually doing the bad things to
Doing it.
ourselves. Yeah, so we've got to treat the body right. So, and that research really blew my mind, and I made up my mind then that anything that was on the unclean list, no matter how lovely it was, I wasn't going to eat it.
How do we get to know the things that are on the unclean list? Is this something you want to share with us?
It's in the Bible. I think it's the Deuteronomy 14 or so, and then Leviticus. I think
Wow.
Deuteronomy 12 and Leviticus 14. Those two. It says the clean and unclean list. Let me see, which of them. So it's there, and
But can you
in fact,
mention one or two of it?
things like the pig, for example. The pig is unclean, and I can look at it scientifically and tell you why God said don't eat the
Pig is
pig.
unclean.
It's unclean. Why? If you look at a pig and compare it to a cow, a pig has only one stomach. So once it eats its food and the pig can eat anything and everything.
Anything, human
So
being
once
even.
it eats its food, it's within for about 4 hours, what it has eaten becomes its flesh. And that's what people are eating. But when you look at a cow, the way the cow is, when God said you can eat the cow will chew and chew and chew and chew, and the food will go to the first stomach,
Yes, the
then the
first,
second stomach, then the third stomach, then the
the
fourth stomach, then it will come back up again, and it will chew and chew again. And so by the time it takes at least maybe about 24 hours or so for what a cow has eaten to become its flesh. And during that time, the cow, the chewing and all the processes that's gone through in the four stomachs makes it healthy for the human body. You understand?
Yeah.
And also, the pig doesn't sweat. So there's no way it can detoxify, because you need to sweat to detoxify.
Yes.
Understand? So if you look at so those are things that make it, so you're comparing something that has one stomach and one that has four stomachs.
Fourth
And you know
stomach.
how, even the
And that's
Bible is
why
saying
they're
that.
called the ruminants.
Exactly. The Bible is talking about meditation. It's comparing to how a cow chews and chews and chews. So that's one of the reasons why the meat from cow is healthier for the body than the meat from a pig. And I think I read something about science that's saying that when you eat the meat from pig, it affects your blood composition for a while. So I try to run away from things that are unclean, because you can get away with a lot of things, but after a while these things begin to build up. Your body now can't keep coping. The body is built in a way to cope with a lot of things, but after a while you can't. When you overstress your body,
The
you're
body
going to have
collapses.
issues. Yes. And another food that I used to love a lot were prawns, shellfish.
Wow.
Oh man, I used to buy jumbo. Oh, but they're unclean animals.
Really? Prawn?
Oh
Really?
yeah, because the Bible says we should eat foods that have fins and that have scales. But what the shellfish, the way it's created is created with a filtering system inside of it. What God created shellfish for is to clean the waters. They are scavengers. Just like the pig is a scavenger, the shellfish are scavengers. So they have such an
So when
intricate
you say shellfish, are you referring to prawn?
prawn, yeah, prawns and all that, yeah. So what they do is if you put prawns in a bowl of dirty water, it will clean up the water for you.
Wow.
Yeah, so because that's the way they are created to clean they are called bottom sea dwellers. They are supposed to clean the bottom they clean the sea. So when you eat prawns, you are taking in a lot of the dirt. And so I just discarded. I stopped eating prawns after
Oh
that
my
when I knew
God.
the truth.
So, but that means prawn, a crayfish is in the family of prawn.
Oh, they're all the same family. Yes, I don't use them. No, I don't use
Oh
any
my
of them.
God. But you
I
know
love.
that our African women, that's what we use most in cooking our soup.
Oh yeah. So
They will
that's
tell you
why.
if there's no
Mhm.
crayfish in the
Yeah,
soup that you're cooking.
I loved it. A day, big bear, the fresh. I mean, in UK, I used to buy jumbo. I used to make some fried rice. Then the people used to love my fried rice, because the prawns there would be something else. And I used to use a lot of Maggi and things like that. But I don't cook with those things anymore. No, I
You know,
cut
we
that
just
because
digressed because we're talking about cancer. I think we should just start from the beginning. I'm so
yes,
sorry we had to go, here
yeah,
and there. Our focus today was to talk about health and how
yes,
health in
yes.
return leads to
Mm.
having a healthy body. It's only a healthy person that would
Mm.
be able to make money. If you're not
Exactly.
healthy, you can't make money. And you don't want
Mm-hmm.
to use your health to make money. Then when you are
Mm-hmm.
going to start enjoying the wealth you've gathered over time, you are now using the wealth to take care of the body. That you cannot
Exactly.
balance. So I think we should just
Exactly.
start from the beginning and go right away before
Yes.
we digress. Thank you so much. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so our bodies, the way God created us, we're cells that form tissues, tissues form organs, organs
Organ.
form systems. Now, the way God created it is our body is such a powerful machine. It just shows the greatness of God, the way He put us together. Everything is functioning well. And it's made up, you can say the body is like made up of like tiny um what do you call them? Tiny little engines.
Yeah,
So,
little very tiny molecules
engines,
that comes
yes,
together to form
engines,
the cells.
yes. So and then some of the engines work together and some work separately. When you have engines, they need fuel to function well, right?
Yeah.
And if our body is made up of these little engines, they need fuel. So where is the fuel coming from? It's coming from our food. So, like you have a car, you have a diesel car, you have a car that uses petrol. You call it fuel in America or gas. So you have the ones that use gas and some that use diesel. You can't say
We also
because you
have the
want
ones that use electric.
electric, yeah. So you can't use the wrong fuel for any car. It's got
It's
to
got
be the
enough
right
engine.
fuel
It's got
because
enough
it
for
is
the system.
exactly. So in the same part way, that's why people need to understand that you can't eat the wrong foods and because it's the foods that you are eating that contain the nutrients that are powering our bodies.
Sure.
So when we are not eating right, we are not empowering our bodies. And after a while, when there's too much of toxic overload, the body breaks down.
Hmm.
So that's why it's important that we take care of our bodies and look at it. It's that's our earth earth suit that must be taken care of very, very well. Because when the earth suit is damaged, what it will do is not, eject the soul and the spirit. So that's why it's important that we eat right. So when it comes to food, which is a fuel, you want to make sure that you're eating the right food. And I remember, when God was having a chat, you saying that, you are made from the soil. Foods that are from the soil are the best foods for you. And
Sure.
if you can, as you can agree with me, that a lot of foods that we have in the shops today are not real foods. And that's why a lot of people, if you look at percentage of people, a lot of people have chronic diseases today. A lot. A lot. And a lot of these chronic diseases can be reversed by changing our diet and lifestyle. But because a lot of times we are ignorant, that's number one, and then we can't be bothered, and even our doctors are not giving us the right information about it at times, saying that just take your tablets. But take diabetes, for example, now, type 2 diabetes. I'm not talking about type 1 diabetes. That is a lifestyle issue. It's triggered by lifestyle. Yes, you can have the genes in the family,
Sure.
but it's not always our genes that determine. Our genes they are the same, they don't change. But the environment around our genes is what determines how our genes will express themselves. They can express themselves in a good way so you don't get disease, or they can express themselves in a bad way. So there are some genes that you need to keep asleep, and there are some genes you need to keep awake, and your diet will determine that. Your exercise will determine that. All those things will determine that. So it's important. So even if there are diabetic genes in a family, if you are eating right, you make sure that those genes are kept. The diabetes genes will be kept asleep. So you can keep them asleep. But you can also wake them up violently with what you are putting in your body. So we can't keep blaming our genes about everything. So that's what you call epigenetics. It's the environment around our genes. So it's not just the food, it's not just what we drink, also even the stress factors, our mind, it affects our genes. Because look at me now, I'm this person I'm talking. The next minute I can be somebody who is laughing, but it's the same me. So it's the same with our genes. So it depends on what the triggers that are, that I'm feeling, that will determine how I express myself, right?
Yeah, sure.
And same thing with the genes. It's whatever triggers the environment around your genes that's going to trigger they're going to behave. So
Awesome.
people that are always moody, always moody, always sad, they tend to trigger a lot of.
Yeah, I think I understand that you're saying because they said you have the dopamine and the serotonin hormone.
Yeah.
These are
Mm-hmm.
hormones that help you to laugh, that motivates you, that keep your
Yeah.
emotions
Mm-hmm.
high.
Mm-hmm.
Once you are not in a happy mood and you are not secreting such hormone, your activities for that day is going to be crumbled because
Yeah.
a happy person is energetic, is doing all to have a
Yeah.
happy
Yeah.
day. But a
Yeah.
sad person is moody, is sleepy. So the opposite of it, rather than you having the happy hormone, you have the other type of hormone that kills the
Yeah.
cell. So
And
when you
not
are
only
moody
that,
and
yeah.
complaining and
Mm-hmm.
depressed, you're
Mm.
releasing those other negative hormones that are actually
Exactly.
hampering those
That
cells.
that cause diseases. Yes.
Yeah.
Disease. Yes. So
So that's
our
why
thinking.
consciously as a human being, even when you wake up on the wrong notes, or
Mm-hmm.
you heard a wrong news, somebody died, somebody's going through, you have to consciously, intentionally
Exactly.
discipline yourself to laugh,
Exactly.
even when you
Exactly.
don't feel like laughing. And laughing is
Exactly.
contagious. Yes, you
Yes.
might be laughing and it's fake, but fake it till you make it real.
Yes.
You can
Our,
just
our emotions are
smile when you
important.
are not really smiling. But in
Yeah.
smiling, fake smiling will become real because you're waking the hormones, you are telling the hormones that I'm happy. I'm consciously being happy. I'm consciously motivating myself. I'm consciously releasing this hormone to make me happy. Because those
Mm.
hormones are there. But
Yeah.
your mood determines what will be released.
Yes. Yes. So especially when it comes to mental health, so that is very, very important. And then when you have toxic thoughts, you're going to be producing toxic things in your bodies,
Yeah,
and this
toxic
can
hormones.
trigger diseases in the body. So our food, is what fuels our health. And the things there are some God has so blessed us with a lot of herbs and plants and everything that have a lot of medicinal value. And when we put them into our diet, we are protecting ourselves. So I normally like to share nuggets like there's one particular nugget that I love to share. It says 95% of chronic disease is caused by poor food choices.
25.
95% of
Wow.
chronic disease is caused by number one, pure food choices, toxic ingredients,
Wow.
nutritional deficiencies, and lack of exercise.
You
So if I
mentioned
break,
4 things now.
yes,
Can you repeat
95.
it
So that
again?
means only 5% are not caused by those, but 95% are caused by poor food choice. That means maybe you're eating crap foods.
Hmm.
I'll talk about crap foods. It's we need to be eating wholesome foods the way the creator created them, you know. So not the ones that have been broken, have been processed into different things that are doing harm to the body. And people eat too many processed foods. People eat too many
Hmm.
refined foods. I'll give an example now of a refined processed food. You have rice the way God made it. There's a wisdom, the wisdom of God that man cannot gainsay. When God created rice, He created it with the fiber around it. So that when you eat rice, the way He made it wholesome, because there's fiber around it, it releases sugar gradually. You understand?
Sure.
So when you have things like brown rice, the sugar is because when you eat rice, it's going to release sugar. And a lot of us have a diet of rice, 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 and we're eating polished rice. The polished rice, most of the fiber is gone. So when you eat rice, your blood sugar levels rise up fast.
Hmm.
And when your blood sugar keeps rising up fast, you keep releasing insulin after a while. Because when you release insulin is like a key that unlocks the cells of the body. Because when you eat, energy is going to be released, and that energy needs to be moved from from your blood into your cells, your body cells, for them to use it. And it's the insulin that is released by your pancreas that is going to unlock the doors of your cells. But when you've been overeating so many things that are sweet all the time and your blood sugar is continually high, your body develops what you call insulin resistance. That means it becomes resistant to the key that opens the door. So
Hmm.
anytime the insulin gets there and wants to unlock the door of your cells for the sugar to go in and energize the body, the cells will say, no, we are too full. And the insulin will not be able to unlock the door. Hence, the blood sugar levels will be high instead of lowering. So that's the beginning of what you call insulin resistance, because the cells now are now saying to insulin, no, you can't come in. No, we are full, we are saturated, because this person ate sweet bread in the morning, or two bagels in the morning, and a big cup of chocolate drink, and had a cake with it and everything. And in the afternoon, this person had a big bowl of rice, polished rice. And in the night, this person is going to have another
Eba.
big bowl of eba. That's sugar, and you keep increasing the sugar. So your body comes to a stage where, number one, maybe the beta cells become tired and not produce enough insulin. That's number one. And number two, if it's producing enough insulin, the insulin is being rejected by the cells, and that's how people develop diabetes. I tell people, diabetes is not high blood sugar. High blood sugar is a result of diabetes. It is a symptom of diabetes. It is not what diabetes is. Diabetes is a metabolic disease that is caused because the body, is either not producing enough insulin to deal with the sugar, or the body, the cells are rejecting the job of the insulin.
Hmm.
So the result of that is what? High blood sugar. So when you have diabetes, you are not going to be treating your high blood sugar levels. It's not the exact true treatment. When you have a disease, you go to the root problem and you deal with it. So if you want to reverse diabetes, you need to turn around your insulin resistance and make your cells insulin sensitive again, and then empower your beta cells to produce enough insulin if they are not producing enough insulin. That is the way to do it.
Wow.
Because when we give out tablets, we are just bringing the sugar levels down. We have not dealt with the root problem. The root problem is that the body is resisting insulin. So we deal with insulin resistance and make the cells insulin sensitive. And then maybe the body is not producing enough insulin because it's tired of insulin. So what do you do? How can you empower your beta cells to produce more? And there are some foods and supplements that can do that. So it goes back to your diet. When you do, you can't, if you look at a child now, a child eats some biscuit and everything, and they run around and play.
They become very active.
Yes, they're active. So they've burnt up the energy. But somebody who has just eaten a big bowl of eba and just sits down and has eaten rice in the morning, rice in the afternoon, a big bowl of eba at night, the body will be loaded with sugar. And the person has not done anything. Maybe the person has been at their desk all day long, and they get home again and they just sit there in front of the television. They can't burn it off. That's why exercise is also one of the key things in dealing with diabetes and pre-diabetes and insulin resistance. If you want to do that, or metabolic syndrome. So it becomes a key. So it goes back to diet and lifestyle. It goes back to that.
So you spoke about one of the 4 things, poor food. What are the others?
The head, poor food choices. So under poor food choices, now you can see when people are eating crap food. So let me break that down. Crap. It's not just saying crap food, but crap means like carbonated drinks. That's C. R is refined foods. And I give an example. Refined foods are things like all those donuts, sugary things that you're eating. Then you have A, which is like the additives. The additives that are in foods are so bad. You see a lot of children that are very hyperactive. A lot of children that have ADHD, some have autism. A lot of it can be. When you take additives out of the lives of children, their behavior becomes calmer. You see a child that is hyper, if you check the child's diet and you can turn it around, the hyperactivity will go down. So additives and processed foods. I've talked about processed foods. I've given an example. Okay, let's look at, like, for example, flour now. The original flour that God made.
What's the B before you leave this? B.
No, crap, CRAP.
Okay, processed food.
Yes. So let's look at another example of wheat now. The way that God made wheat, you see, the wheat is in the Bible. It was part of their staple diet, but it was not hybridized. It was not processed to destroy everything in it. Wheat is made up of the endosperm, made up of 3 major parts: the inner part, the endosperm, and the germ.
Yeah, just like the corn. When you describe the
so it's got the germ.
Corn.
Yes, the
angiosperm is the inner parts.
So those parts are the ones that they are there to. And you see that a lot of times what they do is they are there. They are the ones that are loaded with more of the nutrients than the endosperm, the inner part, which is more of carbohydrate. And that's what is left when they process wheat, because they've taken the what do I call it now? The 2 good parts. It just seems to have gone off my head now. I mentioned one now. It has 3 parts.
You spoke about angiosperm, endosperm.
I've talked about the wheat germ. The wheat germ. When you go to the shops, you see wheat germ under a superfood, because it's a superfood. The reason why it's there is one of the, it's supposed that it's loaded with nutrients. Those parts are loaded with nutrients, are taken out and sold as superfoods. So what we have left in flour is the endosperm that is more in carbs, and then they now bleach it again with horrible things, and then because they've lost most of the vitamins that it came with, they now have to replace them with synthetic vitamins. So when you have your white bread or whatever bread, most of the things in them have been removed. That's serious processing. So when we eat foods that are high in flour, we're just doing more damage to our health. I'm eating donuts all the time. I'm eating meat pie all the time. I'm eating sausage all the time. You can't live like that without repercussions, because the body is the flour itself is already processing. Yes, and it's whitened.
It's
They bleach
bleached.
it to make it white. And all these things are not good for the human body. And I mean, I used to be a bread eater, a lot of bread eater, big one, but I eat bread maybe once a week or once in 2 weeks. I don't eat that much bread, and I tend to eat what you call sourdough bread.
What kind of bread is that?
Sourdough bread is fermented, so it reduces the amount of carbs in it. And so it doesn't do as much damage, and the sugar levels are lower.
How
You
do
know,
you
they
know
put
the
a lot.
bread when you go to the stores? How do you know?
There, you, there, you. If you ask for sourdough bread, it's
Can you spell
actually
the sourdough?
sour, as in sour, and dough.
Oh, sourdough.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So you have
So,
sourdough bread. You can get if you
yeah,
get
I just
good sour.
recently I stopped buying white bread
Mm.
because for kids, where we're coming from, we eat a lot of bread from
Yeah.
Africa.
Mm-hmm.
But you find out that bread here, when you eat bread here, you change like this. So I'm wondering what kind of bread are they doing here? What kind of bread are
Mm.
we eating back home?
Mm.
Because you find that we've been eating bread maybe all our life from home, and now we're here, we're just eating bread, and our tummies are bulging. We have big
Yeah.
people with big
Yeah.
tummies
I
and
mean, even
everything.
if
But you
even
find
the
out from
bread.
home, we're eating bread, we didn't never had this kind of
No,
fats.
people at home are eating. Even the bread at home is actually, I think, is terrible, because when you look at agege bread, it's loaded with so much sugar.
Sure.
So it's bread as a whole. One needs to be careful about. I mean, bread tastes nice, but the times when I'm eating bread now, when I'm eating my sourdough bread, I put a lot of vegetables in it. I'm going to put tomatoes in it. I'm going to put cucumber in it. I'm going to put spring onions in it. I'm going to put chives in it. I'm going to put onions in it. You know, and I make sure that the butter that I'm using is from cows that eat grass. That's another story entirely, because not all butters are good butters.
Wow.
The butter, when God created cows, He created cows to eat
Why are you
grass.
scaring us? Everything is like,
I'm just telling you the truth. There are good butters and there are bad butters. So if you want to buy butter, make sure that it's from cows that eat grass. That way you're getting more of the omega ratios that you need.
so that means you must look out for omega-3.
Yeah, so because most of the oils and butters that we have are from cows that didn't eat grass, they've been packed together. And when you pack bodies together, what happens? They get sick. And so they have to pump them with steroids and they have to pump them with antibiotics. And guess where those steroids and antibiotics go? Into our bodies. When you drink the milk from cows that have been fed like that and have been loaded with antibiotics, you are going to be having a lot of antibiotics. That's why you have a lot of antibiotic resistance these days. You
Wow.
understand? Yeah. So you're going to be taking a lot of steroids. That's why you see a lot of children that are just blowing up, they're just big and everything.
So no
It's
bread,
bread.
no meat pies, no donuts, no
I mean,
puff.
if they want to be treated, I mean, if you want to treat yourself once in a while, it's fine. But it's just that don't make it a lifestyle.
Okay.
Some people don't eat natural foods. Everything is pizza, noodles. And we just pump the body with noodles and everything. We're not eating enough fruits. We're not eating enough vegetables. And the rate at which colon cancer is increased is because we are not eating enough vegetables and foods that are giving us enough fiber. When there's low fiber, if you're not, I said, if you're not going to the toilet every day, at least once a day, there's a problem.
And it's these fibers that will help you go to toilet regularly.
Exactly. Exactly. Before I started eating healthy, I used to go to the toilet maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and it used to be like pellets. It was that bad. I used to like squeeze and everything, but these days, when I wake up, the first thing I want to go to is the toilet. And that shows that changing your diet will make a difference. I used to go to the toilet maybe maximum 4 times a week, and I used to groan there because I wouldn't drink water. I was just drinking tea, and it used to be
And
tea
tea
with
is
a lot
not
of
water
sugar.
because someone just recently read it that tea and all those drinks take water from your system out.
Yeah, especially if there's a
So
lot
because
of
I used
sugar
to
and
think
things in
that
them.
when I take drink, it's
Mm,
giving me water. But so I read a book or somebody told me that when you take more of tea, more of
mm.
this carbonated drink, it is rather
Exactly.
than giving you water, it's taking the water in your body out.
Yes, I used to be an addict of Coca-Cola. Anything cola, I loved it. But one thing you need to know is that you will. I tell people, to people, whatever you reap, you sow today. in your health, in your body, you are going to reap the results in the future. There's no ifs or buts about it. So, like I was saying, if you want your menopause to be a great time, you need to watch what you are eating now. And one of the effects of menopause is osteoporosis. And one of the things about drinking, what do you call it, sodas, is that they contain things like phosphorus that deplete the body of calcium. So if you are drinking lots of soft drinks, you are going to end up with bad osteoporosis when you are
And that's
menopausal.
very fragile bones, such that
Exactly.
when you fall, you can have a broken bone or
Because
something.
yes, because the soft drinks you keep drinking are loaded in phosphorus and they'll be depleting,
Yeah, phosphorus
affecting
will
your
always need a calcium to balance out.
exactly. And when the body is low in calcium, it will take the calcium from any part of the body to replace what is needing.
Wow.
So when it steals from one part of the body, that means that part of the body is going to be deficient in the calcium, and there'll be issues there. And when we take calcium supplements, we need to understand this. Oh, it's best to get your calcium
From
from your
food.
diet.
So, what diet do you take for calcium?
I take things like kale. Kale is
Huh?
very high in
Kale.
calcium. Kale, yes. I
Kale
take it from
vegetable.
vegetables. I get my calcium from vegetables. I get from
But a lot
vegetables.
of times people liking calcium with vitamin D. What's the difference between these two
So I'm going to
elements?
explain that to you now. When you take in calcium as a supplement, calcium needs to be able, it must be absorbed. Okay, so vitamin D helps the absorption of calcium. That's number
Wow.
one. So that's one phase done. But calcium must be carried to the bones where it is needed. If it doesn't have something to carry it, and you are taking calcium supplements, without it, your vitamin D has helped you to absorb it, but it's going to go to your soft tissue, like your arteries.
Is that what they call kidney stones and the rest?
Yeah, it can do that. That's also there, but when it goes to the soft tissues and begins to form plaques there, like in your arteries, and begin to cause damage to your arteries and your heart. So that's why you need what you call vitamin K2. There's K1 and there's K2. You now need vitamin K2 to carry that calcium that has been absorbed into your bones. So loading yourself with calcium and vitamin D is not enough. Taking calcium alone is bad enough. When you take vitamin D3, you make it absorbed in the body. But when it's in the body and it's not in the right place, that's a problem.
Well, how do
So
you
you
know
need,
when those vitamin D and calcium need to be in the right place? How would you know that you're taking the right supplement to transport these things to the right tissues?
when you're taking calcium, you must take vitamin D3 with it. When you're taking calcium, you must take vitamin K2 with it. You will find some supplements that have all three together.
Okay, so that means if we're going to the to the pharmacy, you're not just
Mm-hmm.
looking for calcium supplements. You're
Mm-hmm.
actually looking for a calcium supplement that has a vitamin K1, K2, and a
Not
vitamin
K1.
D3.
K1 is different from K2.
So which of the Ks?
K2.
K2. Oh,
Yes,
God.
K1 is more for blood clotting. And
So
they,
that
they
means
got it
it's
from
even
different
better
supplements.
to eat your vegetables and eat fruits
Yes.
that will give you. So you don't do the
Yes.
wahala of going to a
Exactly.
pharmacy and you're looking for supplement that has all the three
And if you
combined.
don't understand supplements, you just be buying wrong supplements because not all vitamins, not all the vitamins are good ones. The ones you find in most shops are usually the low value ones that don't do much for the body. Mhm.
God will help
And
us.
it's about making money. It's about profit. So,
Yes, I know
so
that everyone must, of course, everybody wants to make profits. So they don't
exactly.
care
But
how
there's
much
no
those
pay.
supplements do.
There's no desire. There's no conscience about it.
Yeah, people want
People
to
have
make
lost
money.
their conscience about it. So, I say to people that I've said if I'm dealing with somebody, I say I'll tell them what the vitamins to buy. When you get to the shop, I'll show me the picture and I'll give you a go ahead. It's like saying I'm going to buy zinc in the shops now. I will not buy zinc oxide. Zinc oxide or magnesium oxide, it's more or less useless.
Yes.
So it's that. So we said that nutritional deficiency a lot because a lot of us are eating a lot of foods that are processed and all that. We are deficient in the amount of micronutrients and macronutrients. Micronutrients are your vitamins and minerals. We don't have enough in our bodies. And we need that for basic functions in the body. Like magnesium now is needed for about 300 chemical reactions in the biochemical reactions in the body.
Magnesium is a strong element and is
Yeah,
needed in the body so high.
it's needed, but how many? A lot of people are low in it. Are low in it, and then when they go to shop again, they'll end up buying magnesium oxide because that's the one is cheap and you find it around, but it's not going to do anything for the body.
You
So
spoke
those are things.
rightly before we got to this side. You were speaking about using condiment to cook. There are some things you
Yes.
do you don't eat any longer. Can you tell us and let us know how do we now know the plant-based food we should eat? That does it mean that no more meat in our diets? Because
No,
you're saying
not
plant-based, the
plant-based. And when
cow,
I'm saying
the
plant-based,
goat
we
meat.
should we need to we a lot of times the foods we are eating do not contain enough plant-based foods. If they are, and then the ones that we are eating, people are not eating enough fresh vegetables. We're not eating enough raw foods in form of salads, in form of smoothies, in form of juice. We're not taking enough. And those are the things that when your body receives them, the cells receive them. Because okay, let me give you an example. You have a cucumber now. All these fruits and vegetables are coded by God. They have codes and they have enzymes in them. Please hear me well. So when you eat a cucumber, it contains, like for example, cucumber has something we call erepsin in it. When the body receives cucumber, it breaks it down easily and readily. But when you cook the cucumber, you've destroyed most of it, and then there's not enough enzymes in it for the body to break down. So your body is going to be stealing enzymes you should be using for other things to break down your food. But when you eat a raw cucumber, the body knows that the kidneys need it. You understand? So it's going to carry it there. So all these foods, there is no food that is not coded. Cabbage is coded. Everything is coded. But when we cook most of these things, we destroy the coding. And that's when we talk about processed food. So when we are eating, your food you need enzymes to break down your food. And God did it in a way that almost all foods, especially plant foods, already have enzymes in them
To break them down.
to break them down. So that's why it's always important that when you are eating, eat salads. Eat salads, eat fruits, drink smoothies, drink juice, so that you are loading your body with enzymes. People, when you look at people, you may say, look at them. This person is aging better. This person is not aging good. Why? Sometimes a lot of times it's a diet. If you are somebody that just eats cooked food all the time, what I do now is I eat cooked food once a day.
Wow.
My cooked food is once a day. So before my cooked food, and I just eat it in the evening. Before I cook food during the days, salads, fruits, and smoothies. Simple. So I'm giving my body rest
From doing a lot of work.
from doing a lot, because the more you eat and the more you chew, the body is working and working, and that you must give your body rest. And as you get older, you need to do that, or else you just be aging anyhow. So I devised a thing for myself that is only one cooked meal a day. Except maybe I'm on holiday somewhere and there's no other way I can do. But even when I travel, I plan myself that okay, I can have my smoothie powders. I can quickly do up a smoothie powder for myself.
So when you say smoothies powders, are you the one that make those things in powdery form, or you bought them in the stores?
I bought them in the stores. And then let me go back to the place of the supplements now. We talked about seed supplements.
Yes.
Supplements based on food are usually very good. I mentioned nutritional deficiency. When you take some basic, we were talking about seed supplements, they are loaded because they are made from food.
Yeah.
That's why most diseases are caused by inflammation in the body. But when you take these seed supplements, what do? They are loaded with antioxidants and they bring down inflammation in the body. That's why when they take these supplements, some people, when they take them for the first time, say they slept well. They received energy because you gave the body what it needs. Because in those supplements are what you call food, and most of them are seeds, and seeds are powerhouses.
Yes, they are.
So when you are taking that, so especially because there are diabetes, we have low nutritional, nutrition in it. So you need to supplement, and it's always good to supplement with things like products like that are food based. I'm not saying that we're not going to take other supplements. I take supplements, but food based supplements play a key role. I've seen, I've seen how it transformed people's lives because it's made from food, it's made from seeds.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Then, before you got there, you spoke about processed meat. You were talking about clean and unclean. You spoke
Yes.
about crab, and you spoke about that means in the family of prawn, we have crab.
Yeah, all those things are especially prawns and all that. I mean, I've not eaten crab in years. And when you look at fish, like fish that don't have scales, it just makes sense. Let's look at this. If
Yeah,
you
okay, I
have
think I'm
scales,
getting you because fish like the Titus do not
yeah.
have scales. But
But the
fish that
funny
have
thing is
scales are a
that
bit more
Titus
expensive.
is one of the highest, is one of the healthy fishes. It has a few
Titus,
scales. Yes.
but it
Titus is
doesn't have scales.
mackerel is healthy. It's
Okay.
not toxic to the human body. But most fish, like catfish,
Yes.
listen to this. Catfish is loaded with fat, isn't it?
Oh my God.
And when toxins go into any body, whether human or animal body, they are stored in fat.
When what?
When toxins are in the body, the fat stores them.
Yeah, it's the
So
fatty
anybody
cells
that
of
has
protein.
fat, so the body develops fat most of the time to protect us from ourselves because we keep taking in toxic things. So the body has to create fat to envelope it. So if somebody wants to lose weight now, that means they must detoxify. And when they detoxify, then they can release the body, the fats will now release those toxic
The
things, flush
toxins.
them out of your system, and your fat cells go down and you lose weight.
True.
So catfish now is an oily fish. It's not a clean fish. It's actually scored about 39%
Wow.
in that thing. And what does it do? If you look at it, it has no scales. If there is a pollution in the water, one of the first set of fish that will die will be catfish.
Mm.
Because it doesn't have scales to protect it from absorbing the chemicals, unlike things like tilapia.
Tilapia, croaker, and the other ones.
Exactly. So can you see it makes sense?
Yeah.
So and actually catfish are more also supposed to help clean up. So but it seems that, and then because of the fat,
But you
it
know, that's the
deposits.
fish that we buy to cook, make our meal, make our soup, the black fish, the
Yeah,
smoked
well,
fish.
I mean, I stopped eating it a long time. I don't eat it anymore.
Wow.
The fish I eat the most is actually salmon, and I make sure I don't buy the big shop salmon. No, the
Because the
big
big shop
shopper
probably
salmon is farmed, so it's
is
going to be
farmed
high
with
in
a lot of
mercury and all that.
fertilizers and injection just to make them look big.
Exactly. So I buy the ones that are in packets where they write wild Alaskan salmon. So those ones are lower in mercury because fish tends to carry lots of mercury,
Yeah,
especially because
yes, from water.
exactly, exactly. And mercury can be very difficult to get rid of if you need to walk. So
Yeah, no,
there are
mercury
some
is even difficult to break down, even in the soil,
exactly. So
let
there are
alone human being.
foods that you can eat that will help you detox, get the mercury out of your body. Yeah, there are foods that you do that, and they must be in your diet regularly. Things like parsley and coriander will get, all
Parsley,
these
that's
toxins.
the ingredients you condiments.
Yes, parsley is a herb, and coriander. I think they call coriander mm, see there's another name for coriander in America.
I think most of these lists, I'll try and get them from you and post
Yeah,
them on this our link for
yeah,
this video. For those who missed this class, probably
yeah.
this session, we'll probably go back to look at them because
You,
health is wealth. Once you have a
health
good
is wealth. Yeah.
and you're strong and vibrant, you can make money. But once the
Yes,
body is sick,
exactly,
you can't even step out of your bed. You'll
exactly,
be in admission, taking
exactly,
drips and the rest, which is not safe for you. So you want to give the
exactly,
body the right nutrients, the right
exactly,
thing. When you spoke
exactly.
about pig, you said pig is a scavenger,
It
catfish
is
is
a
a
scavenger.
scavenger, prawn is a scavenger. That's why
Mm-hmm.
they're in that, what do you call them? Is it clean list or what?
Unclean, they are unclean.
Unclean, they're unclean.
If you
So
look in
because
the
they're
Bible, you
scavengers.
find the clean list and the unclean list,
And
and
the
that's why they did
processed
that
meat from
experiment.
them, like bacon,
Yeah.
sausages, does it mean
And
that
one other thing that is bad about it is that about deli. I don't know where Dila Delhi is, that they are made from these things. Not only are they made from pigs and all that, but they're also processed. They use a lot of chemicals in them that are bad for the body.
But you know that, oh my God, people are not informed, and
They're
that's what they
not
eat
informed. So when
on
you're
a
eating
daily basis.
bacon, it's been
Okay, what would you
processed
say
so
about
badly.
the bacon?
I don't eat
No,
bacon.
what is it? The all the things that they put in the burger. You
I
just go and say, I want
don't.
burger, but
I
you
will
don't
not
know the
touch
kind
a
of meat that
burger.
are in there.
I will not touch a burger with anything. I've not eaten burger in years.
Oh my
Because
God.
the meat itself, the process that they go through is just terrible. We say they process things in a way that they tantalize our taste buds. And when we have an addiction for it, we can't take, you need
Yes,
to
an
wean
addiction is
yourself of them.
difficult to run away from.
Exactly. So you need to wean yourself. I have to wean myself off sugar. I had to make a determination that I was not going to eat those things, because the Bible says that you know the truth. And because God was taking me on a journey, He needed me to know the truth. When you know, then you can teach other people. It
Yeah.
started with me. And when I learned those things, it became an eye-opener for me, and I began to turn my own life around. And that time, I mean, when I was in my hips was size 16, not anymore. Mm-mm. No, no,
Like 16.
my face was
Did you
very
exercise
full.
or what did you do?
I just stopped eating badly. I said to people, sometimes you don't need to diet. Just stop eating badly. That's all. I don't have a social diet, but I eat healthy. So that way you lose. And if I think that I'm putting on weight, and I take the steps to say, am I eating too much? Are my portions too much? Am I eating too? Are my portions too much? What am I doing? So
Awesome.
and we are in a generation that keeps eating and eating and eating and eating. So we're not even giving our body rest.
No, not that. A lot of us, some of us are in a hurry. So we eat the
Yeah,
fast food. We just drive down Chick-fil-A and, others, Burger
yeah, yeah.
King. And because, you've worked all day for 16 hours, and
Mm-hmm.
where is the strength to stand and make some meal? You just said, I just need something
You
very
have to.
fast. And the
We
next thing
need
you
to
do
go
is get
back
the
to
big
it.
bottle Fanta and the burger. Or you get fries and chicken.
And then,
And we console
have you
ourselves
thought
by
of the
buying chicken
oil?
and say
Have you thought of
protein.
the oil they used to make those fries for you?
You said?
The oils that they use for the fries. Have you thought about them?
Oh my God.
The oils, they just recycle them, and those oils are causing us cardiovascular issues.
Oh my God.
Oh yes, it's called under here, but it's called see
And because one, you don't have the control of the oil that is used to fry those things, they are actually
exactly.
not safe.
And even not all oils are good for frying. Not all oils have the what's this point? There's a point, a smoking point. Oils that are used for frying must have a high smoking point. That means they don't break down easily. And when oils break down easily, they cause free radicals in our bodies that cause inflammation in our bodies, and that they affect our heart and cause inflammation and just disease and everything. So
But I
you
want to
just
ask a
buy the
question
chips.
too.
You buy the
What you just
chips.
said scared me.
Yeah.
So that means most of us who fry do a lot of frying of plantains,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to use this oil over and over again to fry. The way we
Mm-hmm.
do. Once you
Yeah.
fry, you keep the oil in somewhere. Tomorrow or 3 weeks from that day, you want to fry another set of plantain. You bring out the
It's
oil.
bad, especially if it's those common vegetable oils like sunflower oil, rapeseed oil. That's terrible. When I fry, if I want to fry at all, I use either coconut
Olive
oil.
oil. I
Coconut
use
oil.
olive oil.
Olive oil is not supposed to be heated up. Olive oil is not. It doesn't have a high smoking point.
So are you
It's not
saying olive
supposed to be
oil is a
used.
better oil for frying?
Olive oil is not a better oil for frying. No.
So which oil should you use?
I normally, you can use sesame seed oil. It has a high smoking point.
Well,
I use
these
coconut.
oils are not quite affordable.
Well, you just use a little. Something I say to people, when it
How
comes
much
to
is
your
well
health,
too? You need money to get these things.
I know, but before you think of buying those bags, think of your health first. That's why I say to people, before you think of buying those clothes, invest in your health. It's when you are healthy that you can wear the best clothes. So it puts a sum of your money apart to buy healthy food for yourself. Because, like I said before, what you sow in your body today, you will reap it in the future. Hmm.
So what you eat
Alzheimer's
now, tomorrow
disease.
it will
Exactly.
boomerang.
Alzheimer's disease. It doesn't just happen. What are you putting in your body that is going to trigger it in the future? You need to think about it. What are you feeding your body and your brain now to prevent yourself from getting Alzheimer's disease? Think about it. So it's, the God's law is the law of sowing and reaping. Let me give myself as an example. I used to eat very badly, and I used to stand a lot as a pharmacist, and I was eating so much, and it affected my knees. The job of itself affects my knee, and the food I was eating there affected my knees. And it's something that I did years ago, and I'm reaping it
You're
now.
reaping it now.
But because I'm living healthy, it's helping. I'm just,
The
it's
strain is
helping
not
me.
so much.
Yes, but it can be. Sometimes I can't wear high heels anymore. I can't.
You're over 60 now.
Yes, but I used to wear high heels. But over 60 doesn't mean you can't wear high heels. It's the fact that my knees have been damaged
Oh my
from
God.
standing for years and then from eating badly. But I now I'm eating what you call anti-inflammatory food to make sure that the pain isn't so bad. So
You
what
spoke
you
about,
sow, you
thank you
will
so
reap.
much. Great nuggets. We should have called this a day because it's over
Yes.
an hour, but through you, the nuggets are just too much. And you
Mm.
also mentioned about condiments. When you cook, you
Yes.
don't cook with those condiments. How do
No,
you
I
now
don't use
sweeten the
MSG.
food? How do you make the food good? Because
My
one,
food.
I
Look,
want to make jollof rice,
if you
and I
taste
want
my
the
food,
rice to be
you will enjoy
tasty
it.
to my guests. And
You
you don't
can
want me
make
to use crayfish. You don't want me to use Maggie. So how do I
it's
sweeten the
all
food
the
that I have to present to my
mindset.
guests?
It's all a mindset. I
Really?
used to be like that before. Mindset. When I was in
Lord
Nigeria,
have
I went to
mercy.
Nigeria for about 4 years. I set up my healthy living thing and was selling. We were cooking food, healthy foods for people. They couldn't believe how tasty they were, and we were not using Maggi.
True. What were you
We were only
using?
using spices,
What?
thyme, mixed herbs, and all that. Those are things I was using. And it tasted very, I'm telling you, I kid you not. There was a day we were supposed to, a woman, she was our client, she was on our weight loss program. So we said we were going to be preparing her lunch for her and we delivered to her. She said she was not looking forward to
To
her
your
lunch.
meal.
But we were making things for her like quinoa stir fry, burger stir fry, burger jollof, millet, things like that. And stuff like that. When she ate the stir fry, she said she can't believe there was no Maggi in it. I'm telling you, I've not used Maggi in years. Maggi contains MSG and other cubes that contain
I know.
MSG.
Glutamate.
And MSG is an excitotoxin. It kills the brain cells. So think about the future. Food can be sweet today. What about what is it doing to your body? I have a member of staff, she's on my WhatsApp group for healthy living. She's shared her testimony. She was epileptic, and her name was Dolapo. Dolapo would just be eating noodles, and she'd be putting all those spices on
No.
the noodles. So I said to her, these spices contain MSG,
Yes, I
and
know.
MSG is going to affect your brain cells, and epilepsy has to do with your brain cells. Stop it. She gave a testimony recently. I put in our group that it was me that helped her. She said she stopped having, when she stopped eating that thing, it stopped.
So it means
Food
she
is
was having
medicine.
epilepsy before?
Yes, she used to suffer from attacks,
Seizures.
seizures. Yeah. And I told her one day, I said, "You are not doing yourself any good, do you, this girl?" And she's a very good cook because she used to cook food for her clients. I said, "This noodles you're eating is not doing you any good. What do they call this thing they put inside of it to
The
the
noodles
flavoring?
condiment.
It's loaded with MSG."
Yeah, because it's sweetened so as to make the noodles look good.
So I said to her, if you want to eat noodles, if you insist you want to eat noodles, I said, make your own seasoning yourself. Throw away their own seasoning and let's see how it goes. I will share her testimonial from what I will forward it to you. You read.
One thing I want to ask you, because of our viewers, some are not
Mm,
here, some I want to log on. If I can get some of those lists, when I'm going to respond to some of the messages that people are going to leave here, I
mm.
would post those things. List of healthy living, list of things to look out for when you're eating, the unclean meal food and the clean. Because, we are not taught that in school. No
let
doctor
me
with
give you a
teacher.
short form thing. When you go to the shop and you pick up a package of food and it has many ingredients, run away from it. If it has ingredients that your great grandmother will not understand, run away from it. If it has E numbers, E this, E that, E, just drop it.
Okay.
So if you have to have a day that you cook in bulk, do it. If you have to have a day that you make your juices in bulk, do it. If you have to have a day that make your sweets bulk, and then freeze them, take that step. Make a big bowl of salad that will last you a few days. Take the step because your body will, will thank you. It's
Okay, in making the salad a bit richer, can you use things like white meat, like chicken,
yeah. If you
turkey,
want to, yes, you
stuff to
can
make it
use
a bit
things like
richer and
chicken.
filling?
Yes, but when you want to buy your chicken, make sure your chicken is free range chicken. That's the least you can do for yourself. That means it has walked around. Chickens are supposed to be, God created them to go around pecking on the floor and eating. God didn't
God
create
have
them.
mercy.
God didn't create them to be
But in
eating all
this
this
country, where
soya
will you
food.
see chicken moving around?
But you have them. You see, you go to some shops, they're just more expensive. You see free range chicken, organic chicken.
Free range chicken.
Mm.
We'll get there.
Yes, we'll get there. So it's a process. I didn't get there overnight, I'm reading some of the comments here.
Yeah.
A must watch again for me. Yeah, so there's so much to share, but I want us to understand that we need to go back to eating healthier meals. Young people, you think you're young now, please. A lot of young people are having cancers they shouldn't be having. A lot of young people are developing diabetes, a lot of diseases going on around. Go back to the basics. Let's go back to our diet. Let's look at our diet. I drink teas. I used to drink a lot of teas. Then I put sugar. I wouldn't put fresh milk. I used to put, that African milk, evaporated milk. That's what I used to drink. And that's what I used to have. But these days, I don't use milk anymore because dairy itself, if it's not organic, I used to be, if not your dairy is not
No, I
organic,
know
don't
about
drink it.
dairy. Dairy talks about not having lactase in your body to break the milk. So I
Mm,
know because when you're younger, you have a lot of lactase enzyme. For
mm.
younger kids, they
But
can
once
take
you're
milk. They
older, you
can take
don't need
dairy
it.
period.
And
The
then the
adult
dairy
one,
you
you
have.
can't take it because you have low lactase. And
Mm.
if you have low lactase, how do you break down lactose, the milk
And
you take?
that's not the only thing. Because the cows have been injected with steroids and antibiotics, their milk is loaded with steroids and antibiotics. That's why you have antibiotic resistance. Antibiotic resistance. That's why you have a lot of people that the children blowing up all that, because the steroids will always do something to your body. So the steroids that have given to a cow will come into your diet.
Wow.
So you can I take only vegetable milk, and I don't go to the shops to buy it.
Where do you
Because
get your milk?
if you see almond milk is supposed to be 100% almond milk, my dear sister.
But it's
But if
not.
you go to the shop, it's only 10% almond and the rest is crap. So what is that?
So you do your milk yourself? Is that what you're saying?
I make my coconut milk myself. I'm not a fan of almond milk, so I don't make almond. But if almond milk I did a 5-day raw challenge last month for people, and all we ate each day was raw food, no cooked food. People's testimonials was serious.
No,
They
I
were
do that
thanking
too.
me.
I do that for 2 days, 24, 48 hours. I eat
Mm,
all fruits.
raw
But
foods.
sometimes for three
And
days, I try to do it. You feel very light and very strong. The
exactly.
first two
And
days
then,
might become shaky because
yeah,
you are missing what your body is used to. But
exactly.
by the time you get to the third day, you are so light and you can go the
Exactly.
fourth, the fifth, the sixth day without no meal. But the
Exactly.
first 2 days is wow. That's when you have a lot of body shaking. I feel like
Exactly.
going to eat my meal. But if you can enjoy it and get into the third day, at the third day, you're a bit lighter and you can
Mm-hmm.
go on for 1 week without eating meal. All you do is
Someone said,
fruit.
"Wow, I will no longer let people make me feel guilty for not drinking." Adults don't. You don't need milk. We are not, and we are not. We don't
Oh
need
my
milk.
God.
But when you want milk, just make your milk yourself. I make my coconut milk myself because you are not going to get pure coconut milk out there. It's going to be
When you
maybe,
say
well,
coconut milk, means you buy the coconuts,
yeah,
you
I
blend
break
it,
it,
and
I
you get the
blend
milk.
it, and I get the milk.
So aside from coconut, can you do the almond?
You can do the almond, soak the almond. People, during that challenge, people learned about how to make, and they were showing their milk. They were making almond, and they would say, "Wow, the milk was so rich, and it was 100%
No,
milk."
I think I knew somebody, a friend of mine was doing almond milk sometime in my
You just
country
soak
there.
it.
She was
Just
selling
soak
it.
it. Mm-hmm.
She was doing it in the form of smoothies.
Yeah.
She was doing almond milk. She was also doing this other nut that you get from the nuts. What do you call it? Tiger nuts.
Tiger nut. Yeah, 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 yeah. We used to make that in Nigeria. Yeah.
But I don't think there's tiger nuts in this part of the country.
No, not really.
Okay.
Not really. So
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I mean, there's a lot to share, but we've come a long way, and I just
No,
hope
we
that
have to call
people.
it a day too. It looks
Yes.
like health is something we need to talk more often, because
Yes.
I often will tell everyone that's around me that the body is a container that keeps the Bible says
Exactly.
we are a spirit, we have a soul, and we live in a body.
Yeah.
The body is the
Mhm.
earth suit, is the container that gives us the
Exactly.
permission to live on this side of the
Exactly.
planet. If all
Exactly.
you are doing is making money and you're killing the bodysuit,
Mm-hmm.
someday the bodysuit will pack up. And once it
Mm-hmm.
packs up, somebody, the money you're making, somebody else is going to spend that money for you.
Exactly.
And sometimes it might
Exactly.
not be your family members, might be somebody else, might be even your family members. But
Mm.
what happens to you? You
Mm.
have worked so
Mm.
hard, but did not enjoy your proceed. So
Mm.
that's why I said there must be a balance. We
There
must
must be
take care of
balance.
this body so that we
Exactly.
can make money. Whilst making money, we can also use that same money to buy healthy food that can keep the body
Exactly.
more stronger and
Yeah.
healthy. So I want to say
Uh,
thank you so
thank
much.
you.
I also want to thank
Before,
our viewers for being on this show.
thank
I also want
you.
to say, if this has been a blessing, like I earlier said, please share with others. I think for me, I would have to revisit this to watch it again. And the comments here are mind blowing. You know, people are getting to know, and this is because we don't have a book that talks about healthy living. There are books, but people would hardly buy them to read, and it's never
Mm.
taught in a school. The doctors
Mm.
too, or the nurses will not tell you what to eat. So it's a lot of
Yeah.
research. So you either meet a nutritionist to help you, and not all nutritionists are available to do that because you have to pay for their service.
Of
So you
course.
might have to do your read up, go to search the internet, and also go back to Leviticus 14 or 12 and Deuteronomy, where God
Yeah.
mentions some clean food to eat. So let's learn from there. And if you need to get in touch with um, Madam Opeoluwa Okulaja, you can either shoot her a mail or a text message. And if you're finding it difficult to get to her, you can reach me. I can connect both of you together. She's actually a nutritionist professional, so she'll be able to give you advice on what meal to eat, how to cook your food, how not to cook it too much to lose the nutrients. You can learn a lot from her. Like today, we don't want to let her go, but she has to go. It's midnight over
Yes.
there. I'm so sorry, ma'am. So
No
sorry.
problem.
But I
Yeah.
might have to bring you again because health is wealth.
No,
We
no,
need
no
to learn
problem.
more, and people need to
Thank you for
also maybe
having me.
speak and talk to you, consult with you
Yes.
to get an healthy list of what they need
Yes.
to start eating right. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Until we
Yeah.
meet on our next episode,
Yes. Yes.
please
Yes.
do have a great weekend and restful
Thank
weekend.
you for
It is
having
said that when
me.
you eat healthy and you make money in the right way, you have a peaceable life and a peaceable
Exactly.
mind. Thank you so much. Have a blessed
You're
day,
welcome.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.